Alright, I have another Touch IC repair here. I think it's more light on this thing. I don't know why it's so dark. Anyways, this one I bought off somebody, and I didn't see the gray bars up top, but there's definitely no touch. So first thing I checked is the digitizer connector, and there's nothing wrong with it. So it's hard to troubleshoot these things in terms of the no touch. Okay, I mean you can't really test something unless you physically see damage to the connector or maybe a missing component or something like that. Then the easiest thing to do really is to replace the Touch IC chips. Because it's usually one of those things. It's usually the screen. So you roll that out, put a new screen on. That's easy. Number two, digitizer connector. Okay. Physically, you look at it, it doesn't look damaged. You roll that out. Third, you go to the Touch Mason and Cumulus, and you replace those. And if it still doesn't work after that, then you dig a little deeper. But usually it's one of those three things. I would probably say about 95% of the time. So I'm going to replace this and see how it goes. So I'm going to go high heat, I think. High heat, less pressure. High heat meaning 450, I think. 440, and I'm going to drop the pressure down to 5, okay? So I've been experimenting a little bit, and I think the best thing to do, right, is get the chip off as quickly as possible. And then maybe when you're putting it back on, back up, back down on the heat. Go down to like maybe 415, maybe 400 or something like that, so you're not burning up components, So we'll see how this goes, okay? So I'm at 440 with a flow rate, pressure rate, whatever you want to call it, of a 5, okay? Yeah, so let's do it. Thing is, when you're taking it off, you have lead-free solder under there, okay? But when you're putting it back on, you're using leaded solder, tin lead solder, which has a lower melting point. So you don't need as much heat, okay? So there we go. That's number 1. And number 2 should be a little bit easier because the heat normally kind of flows on that side. So this one should take a lot less time. Go, try not to move anything. There we go. You know what, to save some time, the other thing that I've been kind of conflicted with also is, should I just reball the chips and use the same chips, Because I've had a few instances where I've put new chips that I bought on AliExpress on here, and they don't work, and I couldn't find the problem. I mean, I know these chips work, so is it better to reball them and put them back on, or just use brand new chips, right? Not sure about that yet. Alright, so let's clean this puppy up, and we will go from there. Yeah, so I got my FM2027 here, and I just bought some 0.031 diameter Kester 44 flux. So this is 63 tin 37 lead. And there's really not a whole lot to it. just try not to touch any of the components, otherwise you're going to get bridges and all that garbage. And try to go quick, otherwise the flux burns pretty fast. And try to make it so that all the pads are a little bit shiny. See, that's a dagger because that pad always rips for some reason. Sucks. Alright. Maybe more flux on that side next time. It sucks. I should probably test it. Seems like it's always this side right here that causes, there you go, pad issues. That's NC, so that's no big deal. And I'm going to get this bottom right corner here. That's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to clean it up and then check out that damn pad. It's always that pad. And I use this chem white below the Q-tip because for the lint, really. Chem white is lint free and Q-tip is not. Alright, so 2 pads missing, and there's, okay, let's take a look. 2 pads are missing, this one's a little bit elevated, this one's elevated. This needs to probably be a little more shiny, that right there shiny. So, okay, so this damn pad right here, it connects over here, okay, but there's also a little bit of a trace right here that you can connect to usually. So that's what I'm going to do first. Alright, so let's get some solder. Let's clean that up right there, and then that and that. We'll just do this. Okay. And I'm going to get some wick here, and just going to jab it a few times. So with solder wick, okay, you really don't want to press down like you see in all these damn videos. What I like to do is just kind of dab, just go quick with it. Go quick. Just don't let it stick, right? Don't let it stick, yeah. Because once it sticks and then you're trying to pull, that's when the pads go. It's probably you really don't need to get it all off. You just need to get most of it off. Definitely don't try not to rip the pads out. Anyway, so here you go. Here. This one is good. Alright, I think we're good there for the most part. Let's see. This one, that right there. Okay, I think we're good. So, alright. Clean it up. Put a trace, a jumper for that damn pad right there. As you can tell, I hate damaged pads. But it looks like that's the only one, really. The other one's NC, so. Alright, looks good. Alright, so let's get down to it. And I'm going to pause it a second. Alright, so let's run it. Okay, so let's see. Let's scrape this puppy. That's about all we need. Alright, so that's about all we need. What I'm going to do is take a piece of solder braid and use that as my jumper. Gosh, let me clean this up first. My tweezers are cruddy. Okay. So I've actually got two pieces here, but I just really need one. So let's break it off later. So let's do this. I'm not gonna need my tweezers, my hot tweezers, so I'm gonna get my mini. Let me see if I can tin this maybe. Maybe that'll make things a little easier. Tin. That's not tinning. There it goes. Yeah, it's tinned. Let's see. Okay. It's getting pretty big. Oh, the solder got onto it. Okay, so let's see if I can get this, and then I'll break it off in a little bit. So I can do that without jacking everything up. I'm about to get, oh, there it goes. So let's try just this. I'm trying to make it perfect, but it may not be. It's all gummed up already. Alright, let's see if I can just get it. Okay. I hate doing this. No! Let's clean this up, man. It's terrible. Alright, let's try this. Okay. I'm gonna tin a little bit more, I think. And script a little bit more. Alright. I think that's good. Okay, let's bend it now. I'll tell you what, the other thing I like doing also is putting some lead-free solder, which is what I should do. I should have used lead-free solder actually, so I'm going to actually put some on there right now so that it doesn't break off once I fix it. Just a little bit. There we go. Okay, that's pretty solid. Alright, that's pretty solid. So let's just do this now. Let's dab this so that there's not so much solder here. Alright, so I think we're good there. If you want to test it, just get your multimeter out. And let's back up here a little bit. If you want to test it to see if it worked or not, get multimeter from here. So basically, not sure if you guys can see it, but so right there, so right here, beep. Okay, so we're good. Alright, let's see, let's clean it up a little bit. Gotta be gentle though, otherwise you don't want that thing popping up on you. I'm actually gonna dab that a little more too. These two. That, and I might just heat it a little bit too. So shit. You know what? Let me try a different wick because that one sucks. Try this one. You know what? And cut it first. All right. Let's see if this works better. All right. It looks pretty good. So what I'm gonna do now is put some more IPA on there, clean it up. Then I'm just gonna run a hot iron over it. Let's see if I can get the I'm gonna back down on the heat. 415.5. Back down on the heat and see if we can get this thing to shiny up a little bit all around here. Let's put a little tacky flux on it and see if that helps. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Let's do this side too. Alright, that's all good. I'm gonna pause it real quick. Alright, everything looks good. Let's put the chips on. So, Cumulus. I've done lost my chips here. I don't know what happened to them. I really need to get. Alright. This is my Mason. And I'm gonna pause it real quick. Alright, I got everything set here. I'm going to put some tacky flux. Okay, so let's get our pennies ready, and we will do Mason first. Dot always goes in the bottom right corner if you're doing it the way I'm doing it. So what I normally do when I place these suckers on here is to make sure they're aligned. So about right there, up a little bit, and then kind of hold it. And I'm going to use 415 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to try to hold it. I'm going to back this up a little bit. It's a little bit awkward. This penny's kind of flipping up because this Kapton is pushing up on it. Alright, so let's do this. Alright, let's hold it here. Don't burn your finger like I'm doing. And then use your tweezers. Okay, so back it up. Boom, it's right about right there. I'm burning my finger. So let's see. Dang it. There it goes. Just make sure it's evenly heated and it wiggles just a little bit, and that's it, really. You don't want to go too crazy. Alright, so let's do this one now. Just a little bit of tachyflux. Alright, so dot top right. I'm not sure if you guys can see it or not. Let me see if I can zoom in on the. See the dot? Anyways, so that is that Broadcom. And let me make sure this is aligned correctly. Okay, so boom. Up a little bit, hold it. Just barely even touch it. Don't burn your finger like I'm burning mine. Okay, and then you can just leave it, I guess. And then it should come back into place here. Goes this one. And then this one should slide back to, there he goes. And then normally I just leave it a little bit more. You don't want to heat too much. I think that's good. Once it slides, then you're set. Alright, so I'm going to assume that this is good to go here. It's going to be really hot, so you're right. Okay, so Kapton, sorry. Remove the Kapton. Put some isopropyl alcohol, cleaning up the flux a little bit. Alright, so that is that. Next thing I like to do is take it off of the holder and just kind of look at the balls. So let's go from here first and zoom in as much as possible. And right there. Okay, so see it? Ball, 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 and then this is where we put the jumper. So that looks like it's pretty good. It looks really good, actually. On this side, looks great. And let's look at Mace Cumulus. Cumulus, for some reason, you can't see. I think it's because the balls are a little bit inside of the chip from the edge. So, can't really see it. Okay, so, you know what? I'm going to do one more thing. Continuity mode. Let's see. And just to make sure that this looks like it actually moved a little bit too, so I think I'm going to have to reball this a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just want to make sure that this is not grounded here. So this is definitely not grounded. Okay, so this right here is the one that I ran a jumper for, and then this right here is ground. So what I'm checking for is to make sure that this and this is not touching. And this actually doesn't look great right here, so I think I'm gonna apply some heat to it. Yep, that looks bad. That, my friend, is called Stockholm. Put it back in the normal holder here, and I'm gonna do this like that. I'm gonna put a little tacky flux on it. Might have to reball that because it looks like it's kind of pushed up a little bit, doesn't it? Okay, let's see. Let's take a look. I should probably see if it works first before I start mucking with it. It's definitely bent. There's definitely a bridge under there, so I'm going to take it out. And I will reball it. There's the joys of touch IC repair. There for you. Sometimes a short under there will also cause the phone to not power on after you're done with the touch IC repair. That's a mess. I don't know how it got like that. Alright. It's not hot anymore. My fume extractor keeps eating my chem wipes. That looks pretty good. Alright, let's see if that works. Alright, well, if it doesn't turn on, then I'm going to assume it's probably Stockholm. And if the touch doesn't work, then it's probably one, I don't know, one of those chips, I guess. So I'm going to pause it now, let it cool down a little bit, and then I'll test it. Then I'll come back. So it worked, okay, but there are some very faint, look like digitizer lines on the screen. So what I'm going to do is put some, I'm going to put some flux on here and just kind of reball them a little bit. Just put a little heat to it. I think that should fix it. You know what? I probably should have checked. Okay. You know what? I think that is that thing messed up right there. No, this all looks good. There's no bridges anywhere, right? No. Okay, I'm just gonna heat it a little bit. Let's do it. It's probably cumulus. And then I'll do this one. Just gonna wiggle it a little bit, and then hopefully that'll be down. Okay, I think that's it. That's it. Hopefully that'll fix it. Test it again.